Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Guru Ramdas Educational Society. I am Dr. Jagjit Singh. Today I would like to talk about lung cancer. What is lung cancer? Lung cancer, it is an uncontrolled, unregulated proliferation of cells forming a lump or mass in the lung. And lung cancer can be seen in mainly people who smoke a lot. Now, what are the types of lung cancer? Lung cancer are of two types, non small cell lung cancer and small cell lung cancer, based on histology of lung cancer. Non small cell lung cancer, it is known as non small cell because it has very different kind of histology. And small cell lung cancer, it is known as small cell lung adenocarcinoma because it has cells which are small in size and they are filled with neurosecretory granules within their vesicles. Cancers can also be of two types based on their location. If cancer is found within the lung, it is known as primary lung cancers, and if it is found outside the lung, and if there is metastasis of lung cancer to the lung, then they are known as secondary lung cancers. Now, coming to the main risk factors for lung cancer, one is tobacco smoke, second is exposure to radon gas, third it is outdoor air pollution, air pollutants that are released from vehicles, and due to cooking of biomass inside the rural areas in the villages. It can also be due to genetic factors. So, lung cancers are very dangerous and they must be treated and managed properly. So, people who are watching my video who have the symptoms of lung cancer, they must understand how this lung cancer progresses and how we have to manage it, what are the research areas which are dealt with lung cancer. So, coming to the pathogenesis of lung cancer, whenever there is a damage to the DNA material within the cell inside the lung, it can result in unregulated cell cycle. The phases of cell cycle becomes disruptive, and as a result of it, it results in cancer, a lump or a mass inside the lung. In addition to this, if there are biological processes like cell proliferation, angiogenesis, if these are dysregulated, then DNA methylation, histone deacetylase modification. So, if these processes are altered due to mutations, it can also result in lung cancer. Metals like chromium, cadmium, aluminium, beryllium, asbestos, these types of agents can also result in lung cancer. Coal tar, coal gasification, soot, so these can also result in lung cancers. So, different types of occupational exposures can result in lung cancer. People who are working in coal mine, they can have lung cancer with chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases. Now, talking about indoor air pollution, how does it result in lung cancer? Women who cook using traditional modalities like by burning dung or by burning wood or by burning crop residues, so that can also slowly, that smoke will enter into the lungs of the woman and in females, and that can result into lung cancer. Now, the main symptoms of lung cancer are coughing up the blood, which is known as hemoptysis, and shortness of breath. There can be sudden shortness of breath, they cannot breathe, they have a difficulty in breathing, then chest pains, bone pains, paraneoplastic phenomena, Pancoast tumor. So these are the symptoms associated with lung cancer. Now what happens in Pancoast tumor? Pancoast tumor is a tumor which is present in the apex of the lung, in the topmost portion of the lung, which compresses the sympathetic trunk, and that can result into Horner syndrome. A Horner syndrome is a syndrome where there is anhidrosis, ptosis, ciliospinal reflex loss. So these types of symptoms can be seen in Horner syndrome, and this is finally attributable to lung cancers. Now, based on histology, lung cancer are divided into four types. So one is adenocarcinoma of the lung, which contributes 40% of the proportion of lung cancer in non-smokers. Second is squamous cell carcinoma of the lung. Squamous cell carcinoma of the lung, it is known as squamous cell carcinoma because we can see squamous shaped cells on histological specimen. And these cells also produce parathyroid hormone, which is abnormal production of parathyroid hormone, leading to abnormal increase in calcium levels in the blood, leading to hypercalcemia. And this contributes about 30% of lung cancers. And there is large cell carcinoma, which contributes 10 to 15% of lung cancers. In large cell carcinoma, the cells are large with excess cytoplasm, large nuclei, and large nucleoli. So these histological types must be understood carefully, and then we can diagnose the lung cancer, thereby preventing and reducing the mortality rates. Now coming to the organs to which these lung cancer metastasize, lung cancer can metastasize to adjacent organs, like they can enter into pericardium, that is the outermost layer of the heart. They can enter into phrenic nerve, leading to abnormal respirations. They can enter into liver, brain, bone, kidney, adrenal glands. So these are the most common sites where the metastasis of lung cancer is seen, and this is mainly seen on CT scans of the lung. Now coming to the methods of diagnosis of lung cancer. Lung cancer is diagnosed in first sequence by chest X-ray. On chest X-ray we can see a solitary nodule inside the lung. We can see widening of mediastinum. We can see pleural effusion. There can be metastasis of cancerous cells into the nearby lymph nodes, into hilar lymph nodes. So these findings can be seen on chest X-ray. It is believed that lung cancer is diagnosed very lately when it is in advanced stages, and mainly the diagnosis of lung cancer is seen at 70 years of age, and the median age of death for lung cancer is 73 years of age. So lung cancer is diagnosed very lately, and the symptoms, before symptoms have seen, it has progressed to a very advanced stage of lung cancer. Now talking about CT scan. On CT scan of the lung we can see a solitary spiculated mass that can be seen on the CT scans. And CT scan, it shows more number of false positive tests. So CT scan is not an gold standard for diagnosing lung cancer. It is tissue biopsy. We have to take the cancerous cells out of the lung through a bronchoscope or an endoscopic technique, or from a lymph node, and we have to do the biopsy and after doing biopsy we have to histopathologically analyze what are the types of cells. So to confirm the diagnosis of lung cancer we go for tissue biopsy, and tissue biopsy is a very standard technique, and in that we can understand that which type of cancer is seen. In 85% cases of lung cancer, it is mainly seen in smokers. So smokers show 85% of lung cancers. In 15% of lung cancers, it is seen due to uh, different exposures. One of the risk factor is radon gas. So radon gas can also ionize the genetic material, and that can trigger a lung cancer. What is a radon gas? Radon gas is produced from the breakdown of uranium and radium in a nuclear power plant by a nuclear fission reaction. And when it is broken, it releases a gas which is colorless and odorless, and that is known as radon gas. This gas will ionize the genetic material within the host human cell inside the lung, and that can produce free radical species, thereby further damaging the lungs. Now talking about PET CT scans are also an important essential investigative step in diagnosing the lung cancer. We can clearly see as a solitary nodule. But remember, solitary nodules can also be seen in other types of disease conditions like histoplasmosis, coccidioidomycosis. It can be seen if there is a metastasis of cancer to the lung. So we have to understand and differentially diagnose whether it is a lung cancer or not. So that can be based on medical skills and medical knowledge. Now coming to the immune staining of lung cancer. Immune staining of lung cancer we can detect which subtype of lung cancer it is. Suppose it is NAPSIN A and TTF1 negative, then it is squamous cell carcinoma, and if it is both positive, it is adenocarcinoma of the lung, and if it is NAPSIN A negative and TTF1 positive, then it is small cell carcinoma of the lung. So these immune staining techniques help us to know which subtype of cancer it is. Now talking about the staging of lung cancer, that is tumor, node, metastasis staging. It is divided into 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B and stage 4. So these are different stages of lung cancer, and this is useful in determining the prognosis in patients who have this neoplasm. Now suppose if it is 1A and 1B, the prognosis for 5-year survival rate is close to 50%, and if it is 3B, 4, then the 5-year survival rate is 10%. Now we can understand that the prognosis is worse if the stage of cancer is advanced, and prognosis is good or better if it is in early stages of cancer. So size of the tumor, degree of spread, health status of patient, and symptoms, that is presence of pulmonary symptoms. So these help us in detecting the prognosis of lung cancer. In the developing world, the prognosis of lung cancer is worse because there are little amount of investigative techniques which can be used to diagnose lung cancer early. Apart from smoking, radiation exposure, radon gas exposure, outdoor air pollution, genetic factors. So genetic factors are also attributable to cause lung cancer. Suppose if there is an polymorphism on chromosome 5 and 17, that can also result in lung cancer. If there are mutations in nicotinic and acetylcholine receptor like ChRNA3, ChRNA5 and ChRNB4, if there is mutation in those nicotinic and acetylcholine receptor, that can also result in lung cancer. The most common cause of lung cancer in men has very high mortality rates. Most common cause of deaths in men is due to lung cancer, and most common cause of deaths in women, that is the second highest cause of deaths in women after breast cancer, is lung cancer. So this lung cancer, it is preventable type of cancer, because if a person stops smoking, if cessation programs are encouraged by World Health Organizations and ICMR and different types of heavenly health bodies, that can stop the progression of lung cancer. The WHO must call a ban on lung cancer in public places and in restaurants and crowded places, so that the amount of passive smoke that a person inhales in adjacent to a smoker who is smoking, so that can also prevent lung cancers. Now, talking about management of lung cancer, how can we manage lung cancer? Lung cancer can be managed using surgery, using radiotherapy, chemotherapy, targeted immunotherapy, and research based drugs. Starting with surgery, lung surgeries are done in both cases, that is non small cell lung cancer and small cell lung cancer. If there is an early detection of lung cancer, then surgery is feasible, and VATS lobectomy, it is done as a minimally invasive procedure in case of lung cancers, and the survival rate is 70% in cases if it is done at an early stage. Now, talking about radiotherapy. Radiotherapy in combination with chemotherapy has found very benefits, and there is multitude of advantages in lung cancer. But this is first treatment of choice in small cell lung cancer with radiotherapy and chemotherapy. In radiotherapy, there is deliverance of high doses of radiation, and these high doses of radiation are localized to the areas within the lungs, and they will destroy those cancerous cells. In addition to this, there is a chart that is continuous hyperfractionated accelerated radiation therapy, where we also give high doses of radiation to kill cancerous cells inside the lungs. Radical radiotherapy is also a type where we give high doses of radiation to kill the cancerous cell. There is one more type of radiation technique, radiotherapy technique, which is known as prophylactic cranial irradiation. This is done in patients who have metastasis of lung cancer to brain. So this is to stop the metastasis of lung cancer to brain. Now, talking about stereotactic radiations are also a type of radiation therapy technique where we give radiations in patients with underlying comorbidities. We have to see that patients who are getting high dose of radiation, it can have different types of risks, so that must be outweighed before starting radiation therapy. And surgery in case of lung cancer is done after seeing the lungs are intact, healthy, the pulmonary function tests are positive, they have good results, then only they will start surgery. Now talking about chemotherapy. Chemotherapy is that is administration of chemotherapeutic agents like platinum based drugs like carboplatin, cisplatin in combination with vinolobin, paclitaxel, docetaxel, pemetrexed. So these types of combination of chemotherapeutic drugs when given can kill cancerous cells, and we can be averted from lung cancer. Now coming to immunotherapy, targeted immunotherapy like EGFR inhibitors like erlotinib, afatinib, gefitinib. So these types of tyrosine kinase inhibitors, when they are given at EGFR receptor, epidermal growth factor receptor, can stop the progression of lung cancers. Now coming to research, there are drugs which are targeting epigenetic modifications. They are targeting molecules that can alter gene expression within the cancerous cells, and that's why, for example, belinostat, panobinostat, etonostat, so these type of drugs are still in clinical trials, and they can be more effective before standard treatment is given. So there are ways in which we can treat lung cancer, and the management of lung cancer must be understood by healthcare workers and different types of people who are working with healthcare system. Now this is all about lung cancer, but please understand how does it spread and how does it result in different kinds of complications. So it is better to understand this condition. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel as much as possible. Thank you.